We are looking at Dominion tonight, and we are using the Dominion.games platform, and we're going to do a little walkthrough and gameplay on this fantastic game. Join us on Legendary Tactics. Okay, so I've got Shauner7, Golden Hawk, and Cake Man with me tonight, and we are really excited to fire this up. And Golden Hawk, you are kind of the Rogue One leader here for us, so thanks for doing that. And can you give us a little walk through this platform?
Yeah, so this is the Dominion.games platform, and it's pretty streamlined for this game. Basically, the object of the game is to have the most victory points when the game ends. And there's two ways that the game can end. Either all of the province cards are gone, or 3 piles from anywhere in the sort of play area are gone.
Okay. Now those
your
province
hand starts
cards,
out with 7 copper and 3 estates. The victory cards, at the bottom of each card, it tells you whether it's a treasure card or an action card.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Sorry, Mark?
Okay, yep. I see that. Yep.
So you start out with 7 treasure, 1 coppers, and then you start out with 3 estate victory cards. So the red number at the top left is the number of the cards that you have. In the kingdom, so that's these 10 cards in the center. For example, there's 10 artisans, 10 laboratories, 10 council rooms. At the bottom left, it shows you how much that card costs to buy. So the whole game is every turn you're going to get 5 cards into your hand. You get 1 action and 1 buy to start.
And you can buy from anywhere in the tableau, right?
On your action turn, you can play a card from the center of the ring, and it will help. At the top right, there's a kingdom button. So if you click the kingdom button, that's going to show you what all the cards do, and it gives you the full description. And that kingdom button changes to a play area button, so you can click that again, and that'll get you back to the play area. But if you want to read through what all the cards do, you can click the kingdom and sort of go through each one. And it's usually helpful to just quickly run through them before the game, just so you kind of have an idea. So for example, the artisan, it costs 6. It's in the bottom left for costing 6 in the action. So, sorry, the card is in the top right. The cost is in the bottom left.
Yes.
And then if you buy the artisan and on your turn you have that in your hand, you can use your 1 action to play it. And if you play that, you gain a card to your hand costing up to 5, and you put a card from your hand onto your deck. So you can gain a card costing up to 5, and then you can put that card onto your deck, or you can put another card from your hand into your deck.
Nick, real quick, usually isn't there some text usually with each of the cards that goes along with them that explains? Because I don't see any.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So if you click on the kingdom button at the top right,
the top right kingdom,
it'll give you the text for all the cards.
Oh, there it is. Okay, sweet. Okay, yeah. Can we leave that up, or does that have to be? Do you have to have it in the play area?
So you're going to want it in the play area during the rest of the game. Kingdom is kind of useful at the beginning of the game to read through them, but you can always switch back there.
Okay.
If during the game in the play area, if you right-click a card, it'll bring up the text for that specific card.
Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. Yep, that's good too. Okay. Excellent. Awesome. Okay, so and then
does all that make sense?
The 2 cards in the bottom, that's going to be, we're going to have 10 cards in hand then.
No, you'll have 5 cards each turn. So after we start the game, it's going to shuffle up your 10 cards and deal you 5. So every turn you're dealt 5 cards.
Okay.
And then you can play a card, so you're not going to have any action cards to play an action in your first round. But so you'll go immediately into your buy phase. During your buy phase, you play all of your treasure cards, and then however much money you have, you can buy one of the center cards or one of the cards on the left. So the cards on the left, for example, are new treasure cards. There's gold, silver, and copper. So you can buy a silver for 3, right? Again, the cost is in the bottom left. This is where it gets a little complicated. But the value of that when you have it in your hand and you go to your buy phase is worth 2.
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
And you can get
buy it for 3, but it's worth 2.
You can get a free copper every turn if you wanted that. You wouldn't have to pay anything for it, right?
You could, yeah. But you only get 1 buy, so if you use your buy on the copper, then you can't buy something else with your money.
Now there is this curse card too. I noticed there's 30 curse cards.
Yeah, so I don't think any of these cards that we have in our current kingdom use the curse. There's a card called the Witch, which will give a curse to all the other players. The thing with the victory cards is the object of the game is to have the most victory points, so you want them, but you want them at the end of the game. If you have too many at the beginning of the game and you get a full hand of victory cards, you can't do anything on your turn. So they clog up your engine.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you kind of the strategy element is when do you buy your victory points? Because they're going to start clogging up your deck, but if you buy them too late and everybody else has already bought them, then you lose.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, so you can buy more estates for 2, you can buy duchies for 5, and you can buy provinces for 8. And so again, the game ends when all of the provinces are gone, so there's 12 of them. If all of the provinces are gone, the game immediately ends. And if any 3 piles from the kingdom are gone, then the game ends as well. And whoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start this up. Fire it up here.
Any 3 of the main piles, so like this remodel, throne room, council room, laboratory, one of these guys, right, from the main?
Yeah, it also counts for piles that are on the left-hand side too, but it's harder to go through all 30 gold or 40 silver.
40 silver,
Before we get...
Sometimes the duchies will all go, and then 2 other cards from the kingdom. That's how I've seen it happen in other games. So everybody needs to hit start game at the center of the middle player.
And we're waiting for Sean or 7.
Sorry, my mistake. There we go.
No worries.
Oh boy, I see some nice shuffling happening there.
Yeah,
okay,
something's going on. Oh boy. One action.
So it's Sean's turn to start.
Okay.
You'll have what cards you have at the bottom of the screen.
So I see a deck here. It says got a 5 there, so five cards. Do I pick up
those?
Those are the cards that are still in your deck. The cards that you currently have are at the bottom of the screen.
So, okay.
The very bottom. So you'll have a certain number of coppers in an estate or whatever.
I only see 1 card. Is that weird?
You might have 5 coppers in hand. It'll have a red 5 at the top left.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay.
That's how many of
so that's
copies
a pretty
of
good
that
starting hand.
That's a what?
Yeah.
That's a what, sorry?
Yeah, because that means you have a lot of money to spend.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with that.
So you don't have any action cards to play from your hand.
No.
So you'll click the button that says play all treasure.
Autoplay treasure, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And then
there goes.
Because you have 5 gold, you have 1 buy, so you can pick anything up to that's worth up to 5 from the kingdom.
And I mean, I don't really know what these things do yet, but I'm just gonna go for something.
So if you right click on them, it'll tell you what they do.
Oh, there it is. Gotcha.
Or if you click the kingdom button at the top right, it'll give you the full list of all
2 cards, plus 1 action, plus 4 cards, plus 1 buy. Ooh la la.
Yeah,
you could also you could also buy any of the top cards too. Right. I forgot about that.
Sorry, just give me 1 second, guys. I'll get this.
Yeah, no worries.
Nick, there are some cards that allow you to do multiple buys, though, right?
Yes. I don't think that there's... Oh, yes. So Council Room gives you an extra buy.
Oh.
So you pick up 4 cards, and then you get plus 1 buy. There's also cards that give you more action. So, for example, the Laboratory, you pick up 2 cards, and you get another action. So if you pick up an action card, you can play another action card.
The Throne Room lets you play an action card from your hand twice.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Now, you don't get a second action, technically. You just get to play that action card twice.
Gotcha.
But things like the Laboratory, you could chain. So if you have 3 laboratories in your deck, you could play the Laboratory, pick up 2 cards. You might pick up another Laboratory because you get another action. You can play that.
Right.
What is it?
Chain cards.
What does it mean when it says trash a card or trash cards from your hand? Do you replace them?
So, no, a trash card goes out of the game completely.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And goes into the trash pile.
Cool.
But you get to gain a card costing up to 2 more. So generally what happens with that card is that you'll trash like an estate that's worth 2, and you'll get a card worth 4. So you'll get rid of that victory card that's clogging up your deck.
Okay, so you just made your purchase, and you bought...
I bought a laboratory.
A laboratory. Yeah. Not to be confused with a laboratory.
Very different.
Those are different things.
That one is a lot cheaper. That's a lot cheaper.
Different actions.
So I've got 4 coppers, and I'm going to buy that remodel card that I just talked about. I don't know. Do you guys want me to go through every card really quickly and tell you what they all do?
You could do, or as they come up.
Or
as we go through, we can talk about that.
Yep, sure. So I'm just going to buy that remodel, and that's the end of my turn.
So what was the remodel again there, Nick?
So the remodel, you trash a card from your hand. So it goes out of the game, but you get a card costing up to 2 more than the card you trashed. So if the card was worth 3, you get a card that's worth 5.
Okay, excellent. So you can upscale your hand pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, Nick, I'm looking at getting the chapel, and that says I can trash 4 cards from my hand. So I'm guessing I would play that first and then just literally dump my hand.
Yeah, so if you buy the chapel, the benefit is that you can eliminate the estates from your deck.
Right.
Which makes your deck more efficient because you're more likely to pick up 5 coppers, which gives you $5 as opposed to a certain number of coppers. And
currently, I don't really need estate cards because worth 1 VP. Oh, they're not even worth a VP, or they're worth 1
They're
VP,
worth
right?
1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Cake Man is
the other
pouring
thing is
out.
that
I'm
upgrading your
yeah, exactly. I'm checking.
upgrading your treasure cards is also like a good strategy as well. So if you buy a silver and then you get rid of some of your coppers, now you have a hand of $2 coins. Now you have like 10 coins, right?
Right.
10 money to spend.
Okay, there he goes. He's spent.
To...
He has spent a copper.
Oh, I want to do all 3, I think, right? So
Yeah. So if you just play autoplay, it'll autoplay.
Oh, autoplay treasures. Oh, okay, okay.
I guess it matters more to play single cards whenever you have cards like, say, the chapel in there, right? You can ditch some of them and then trash some of them, and
yeah. Chapel is considered one of the more powerful cards in the game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the
Just
one
because
only...
running an efficient deck is very important.
Good, yeah.
In some cases.
It's the only one I can buy currently, so I just picked up a chapel.
Okay, so
let's get rid of some.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask this because I'm a little bit confused here. So I have an action first, right? Before I do my buy.
Yep.
And is there our action cards? Where do I find them? Are they?
So it'll say at the bottom that it's an action card. If it's an action card, so you
What if it
right-click on
says
cards to see
victory?
what they say.
What if right-click on it. It just says a
Then
victory.
it's not an action.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a victory point or
So
something.
the action cards are in the middle. Those are those kingdom cards that you bought.
Okay.
That you buy during the game.
And then.
So you don't start with a lot of them.
Gotcha. So can I just do odd? Do I just skip that? I'm assuming then.
Yep.
I skip it. Go to
And then
autoplay
you just
treasures.
autoplay your treasures and then do your buy.
And then I've only got, I guess I got 2 this time. So I'm assuming I'm gonna buy a chapel unless I want to buy some silver. No, I can't.
Silver costs 3.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can't buy the silver.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just go to the chapel. Let's do it.
The council room. You get to actually add 4 cards to your hand and add an extra buy.
Yep.
Wow, that seems powerful.
It's tempered by the fact that each other player gets to draw a card as well. If you read the bottom of the card,
each player draws a card. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
you're
helping
giving
everyone
everybody else a 6th card as well.
Okay.
So
Mind you, I'm getting about 9. So
With the cards you draw, it's only as good as the deck you're compiling, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't,
And that's kind of the fun part of the game is compiling a deck that works well together.
you wanna think in you really want to stick to a strategy. You don't want to switch halfway through.
Yeah.
No, and I've done that tons of times. It doesn't work. It's very bad.
Usually it's not great. Gain is oh, sorry.
I can see how that would easily happen, though. You kind of all of a sudden get caught up with one particular card, and you're like, "Ooh, that would be nice to have."
And then you're like building everything around that one card, which I don't know, may not be the best.
Well, and the thing is that because they have so many expansions, as well as even the base game has a number of different sort of sets of 10 cards that you can get. The different cards interact with each other in different ways, so every game you have to come up with a whole new strategy, pretty much.
Which is the cool thing about it's great for replayability.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I play with a bunch of my friends a lot, and it's funny because it's a great game because everybody thinks differently, and people will find strategies you don't even think of, and then halfway through the game they're just like wracking everyone.
They're like, "Oh, didn't see that coming."
I didn't know why you were buying that card so much. I didn't know what it did.
That's funny.
Because realistically, the game is simple: 1 buy, 1 action, but all of the cards modify that completely. Suddenly you've got extra buys, you've got extra actions.
Oh, and I noticed there's actually a little plus symbol on the card too. You can actually just click a plus and actually pick it up.
Oh.
All right, I'm going with the council room. I think that looks pretty sweet to me.
It's very good.
Oh, it's my turn now. Okay, cool. One action, one buy. All right, here we go. Not to brag, but I do have an action this turn, and I don't know. I just picked it.
Oh,
Plus
Oh,
2
nice, you got it.
the laboratory.
So
So you get extra 2 cards.
Laboratory.
And then I get plus 2 cards. Okay, so
Yeah, so if you have another action, you did get a +1 action.
I
as
could
well.
lay it. It's not.
If you have another action, you could play it.
So can I ask a question about these victory cards? 'Cause I'm sure I'm not the only one with them. What are they? Do we hold on to them till the end of the game? What's the point of them?
So at the end of the game, whoever has the most victory points wins. But
Can we
during the game, they don't do anything.
Yeah, they're
so
just
they're kind of
they're just
annoying to have in your
extra
deck.
in your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So
dead
if you
cards
had your
currently.
chapel, for example.
I was
if you
gonna
had
say
your
I have the
chapel-
chapel. I might trash. No, I have to trash this one.
You don't want to trash your money though. I wouldn't trash
I
money.
know that's
I'm
my
guessing
problem.
early.
But I have 2 of these, so it's kind of like.
Yeah. So you can trash as many
You
as
know
you
what I'm gonna
want.
do?
So
I'm gonna trash those 2. I'll trash 2. Do I have to trash 4, or can I just trash up to 4?
No.
Up to 4.
Oh, good. Then I'm gonna just trash those 2, and I'm going to do my buy now. Right? Autoplay treasures. And sorry, give me 1 second. Oh, so there's no difference between the harbinger and the merchant?
The merchant, you +1
Oh.
card, +1 action. It's the text at the bottom.
Yeah,
that
I look
changes.
through your- so with the
merchant, if
harbinger-
you play a silver on that turn.
I look through my discard pile. I could take a card from my discard, or okay, I'm gonna go with the harbinger. All right, cool. Gotcha.
All
Things
right,
to
so
come.
I have 4 copper and no actions. So I will play my 4 copper and I will buy a silver.
Getting some more money. Yeah.
You had to play all 4 copper to get the silver.
I didn't, but
Oh.
I just usually I just press the autoplay treasures
Oh, okay.
because
Right,
the other treasure you only had 1 buy, so
Right.
right.
it doesn't matter at that point.
Okay.
How many?
It'll matter more
and
when you have multiple cards. I'm guessing that like do different things that you want to slowly.
Yeah,
slowly
very
work out.
rarely does it matter what the order you play your treasure cards in. In later expansions, that becomes more important, but
So
we're just playing the base game.
each turn, you're only allowed to have up to 5 cards in your hand, unless you have a special action to increase that. Is that-
Get you more cards. Yeah.
So you could never buy the gold unless you had a multiple coin card. I'm assuming.
Yeah, unless you had a silver,
Silver.
or an action card that gives you extra money.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
For example, the vassal gives you +2 money on that turn that you play it.
Yeah.
Oh, and you are only allowed 1 action per turn, right?
Unless you have a card that
Oh.
multiplies your actions.
Unless
Oh.
you have a card that gives you
So
extra
so if
action.
you pick up 2 action cards, then you have to decide which one you want to activate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
They're called terminal because they terminate your actions, as opposed to cards that are called villages that give you more actions to play new cards.
Oh yes, there we go. Okay, that's what I was hoping for. $7.
Whoa!
Bam. What you gonna buy?
I know
Buy
something.
when they come for
some-
you.
something pretty.
Well,
Now, important, because you played the council room, you have 2 buys, so you can buy something that's 4 and something that's 3, or you can buy something that's more expensive.
or you could buy a bunch of copper, Mark. Just buy 2 copper. It'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can just buy
should
two
do
Two
that.
copper.
Yeah.
And you don't spend any of your
That's a
money.
really
It's a
smart
really great idea.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna buy one of those. I think that's kind of nice.
Yeah, the gold seems like a good
I
choice.
bought the gold.
And then can you
I
buy?
think,
You have 1 coin left, right? 1 coin. You can't do anything with 1 coin, so you're gonna have to just.
Well, he could buy a copper.
You can buy a copper. That's about all you can buy with it, right? Am I mistaken? I
yeah.
think that's right.
Yeah, another copper.
But I think the gold was a
So
good
kind of-
choice because now you got that going through your
The
deck.
gold is a good choice. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Gold is always good.
I'm just gonna go big there and call it there. How do I end turn then? Because it does want me to.
There should
I-
be an end turn button.
Well, Mark,
Do I
it's Mark.
have
It doesn't. Oh, you don't want a copper though.
You
Interesting.
don't want to buy.
You don't have to buy a copper.
No,
You can
no,
end your turn.
no. I'm gonna end my
There should
turn.
be an end turn button.
Oh.
Maybe it's end buys. There
Sorry,
it is.
I don't
Okay.
know where
It's
it is.
there's no. There's a little text bar that pops up where you can keep it hidden, and then it says one action,
okay.
one buy. So now I
There's
had it
there's
hidden.
there's a button at the top left right corner, Mark, that says resign. Just push that. That's okay. Like, that's,
Yeah. If you want buttons,
yeah, exactly.
No problem. We got a button for you.
So that bar tells you your cumulative actions and buys that are left and the money that you have. That's more important when there's extra money. For example, on the vassal where you get 2+ gold, it'll put it into that bar and show you how much money you have at the time. When you do your actions. But I can see why you might want it down so you can see the cards.
Oh, that bar.
There's a little bit of a. I kind of wanted to get a good card in, but I'm thinking I also need to have cash to spend. So.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
quick
gotta
question,
get
Nick.
your dollars.
Yep.
It says gain a silver onto your deck for bureaucrat. Gain a silver. Does that
Yep.
mean you just get a silver card worth 2
Yep. So gain means that you get that
every time you play it?
Every time you play it. Yep. And each other player has to reveal a victory card from their hand and put it onto their deck. So if they have a victory card in their hand, which is already clogging up their hand and not doing anything, they have to put it onto their deck, which means that they get it
They'll
next
get it the
turn
next
as
turn,
well.
Yeah, you'd be like,
So
God.
it's almost it's at the bottom of the bureaucrat it says that it's an action attack card. So this is one of the few attack cards that are included in the base game, and it attacks your opponent.
Right.
Oh, okay. It's a little more aggressive.
Yeah. The later expansions have more attacking sort of availabilities, but the base game, there's another card called the Militia that's pretty attacky. And then the Witch, of course, that gives you curses. So I've got a remodel. I'm going to play that, and so I can discard a card. Trash a card. So I'm going to trash an estate, and I get a card worth up to 4.
Nice.
So I will take a... I'm trying not to go crazy on you guys.
Go gentle. Go gentle.
Oh,
Gentle.
no. Stop.
Please.
So I'll grab a merchant with that, I guess, and then I have 3 coins, and I'll grab a silver.
Oh, you're silvering it up. Nice. Okay. Cake man's up.
Okay. So.
You get a card and an action.
Yeah, so what do I do? How do I do that then? So I just kind of autoplay treasures, and then I get an extra action from that, so I get 2 actions basically.
Yeah, but if you don't have an action card to play, it's worthless.
Okay. Can I like undo that then? Just like not? No.
Yep. Undo.
Well,
undo
there's
in
no
the top
point.
right. There's a top right
Oh,
undo
there's-
button.
There's
Whoops.
Oh, but we have to grant it to you.
everybody has to grant it.
Oh boy. Okay.
I granted. I did not deny it, although I did debate.
Playing the merchant though doesn't really have any impact because you get a new card to replace the merchant that you played, and you get another action. So in a choice between that card and another card, the only reason why you wouldn't want to play it is because the card you picked up was worthless.
Right. Yeah.
So normally we wouldn't allow you to undo that.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, does he instantly get to see it?
Well, he got to see it because he picked it up, and then
then he wanted to undo it.
He put that card back. It's fine.
This time we will allow it.
We know it was always your devious play.
Yeah.
That's
dang
right.
it.
I want to see my top card.
Although if it's a useless card, you probably don't want it next turn either. So
Oh yeah.
whatever. Picking it up is probably a good idea anyway.
Okay.
$3.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a chapel here.
Oh, boy.
I can trash 2 of those. Confirm trashing. Okay, and then I will autoplay treasures. I have a total of 4. And I will buy... Oh, I do like that remodel. That is a nice card to have. Okay. Done.
Okay, let's see here.
Council room.
Okay. So I can the only action option is whatever I have in my hand, right? There's no other actions that I could do potentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay. Open treasures, and I'm gonna go for the remodel.
Playing 4 and bought a remodel. So the one other thing that's nice about the bureaucrat too is that when you gain the silver, normally you gain a card. Whenever it says gain a card, you have to gain that to your discard. So you don't see it until you shuffle your deck.
Right, right.
The bureaucrat, you gain that silver onto your deck, so you're going to get it next turn, which is also
Oh,
kind of
nice.
Nice.
Let's see.
So
I've got 6 and 1 buy.
there are a lot of games where
I'm going to pick up the council room.
you gain points at the end based on the amount of money you have, or like gold cards you would have. In this game, is that the case, or are
no
money's
all
just
of your
a means?
Victory points.
Money's just a means to getting victory points, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So I could potentially be buying provinces right now, or whatever, right? If I wanted to.
Yep. Yeah. If you get eight coins, it's generally good to buy a province because it's hard to get 8 coins to buy something with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In order to get 8 coins
you need to have a bunch
with
of
only
golds.
5 cards.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
Silver and gold.
With the merchant, like I pulled it back, but I still have it in my hand right now. So like I was gonna wait. I would want to have waited till like if I had another action card.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So at the end of your turn, you discard all of the cards that you haven't played.
Oh, okay. So
so
then you must have
don't
redrawn
use it-
him, Rob.
And that's something I should have explained. Sorry. Yeah. If you don't play a card, then it gets
all
discarded.
the cards get
So
discarded.
there's
Okay.
no reason not to play a merchant normally in most cases.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
There could be, and I shouldn't say that uniformly, but
yeah.
in most cases I would play a merchant first before playing.
Oh, hey, Cake Man, by the way, if you play that merchant card again and then want to redo it, I probably will deny it. Just so you know.
Guys, can I do this again?
No more of that.
Fool me once.
Yeah, shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on you.
Oh, how the
Tables
turntables
have
turned.
Oh, how the turntables. Oh man.
Okay, so that's good. I'm just gonna end actions then. I'm going to.
And Nick, thank you for putting up with our slow playing here.
Gosh. This must be
You're
this must be a bit mind-numbing for you.
You're a warrior.
Drink some more scotch.
I'm one of those people that's addicted to board games. You say board games.
You're like, you say when and how high.
When and how high.
That's right.
Oh, Cax, you're getting more and more confident.
Oh, darn, I cannot.
You got 2 buys? Okay.
Yeah, but I drew
He
a lot
picked
of...
up some action cards.
I did.
I
did.
See, that's
I
the
did
problem
get
when
a
you
bit
buy
of
too many.
cash.
So you really have to balance then, eh? Like, you don't want to just be buying all actions. You got to balance between buying money and actions.
Actions and money.
Man, there's a lot to think
or
about.
actions that give you more actions.
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot to think about.
Something like a laboratory is like a free card because you get new cards and you get another action. So playing that card never really costs you anything to a certain extent. Yeah.
Well,
The laboratory was a good buy.
Yeah.
The problem with the council room is that if you pick up 4 cards and you pick up some of your really good actions, you can't play them because you don't get another action.
Right.
Right. Whereas with the laboratory, you pick up 2 cards, you get another action, you can play.
Yeah, it's a nice. Yeah, I'm noticing that.
But you only get 2 cards.
Okay, so I played the bureaucrat, which means I can see. It says, let's see, Golden Hawk reveals her hand. Am I allowed to say it, or is it just showing to me, or is it showing to everybody?
It's showing. It should show to everybody. Yeah. Golden Hawk reveals her hand, a merchant of silver, and a remodel.
2 coppers, and then
it might not show. No, it does. Yeah, I think it shows to everybody, right? Everybody can see that.
Oh, it's in the chat box. Yes, there it is. Yes.
So Cake Man top decks an estate. Cax reveals their hand, a chapel, a gold, a council room, and 2 coppers. So how is this beneficial to me? I can just kind of see where you guys are at. Like, do you have to discard these cards now? What's the deal here?
So there's 2 effects from the bureaucrat.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's 3 effects really, because you gain your silver onto the top of your deck. You already did that. Each other player has to reveal a victory card or their hand.
Okay.
So if me and Cax did not have a victory card in our hand, so we had to reveal our whole hand to you, but we don't have to have a victory card on our deck.
Right.
Whereas, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Now he's in thinking mode. You
just
caught him. You caught him mid-turn, man. You can't do that.
To be honest, my main strategy for this game is to keep Golden Hawk distracted on his turn. So I'm asking a pretty good question.
I got
What do you
caught
think
up
is
with
the greatest game of all time, Golden Hawk? What is your favorite?
So Cac had to top deck an estate, so he only showed you a victory card, and he had to put it on top of his deck. So he's down to 4 cards, and next turn he'll also pick up a victory card, which will suck for him.
Right.
So I'm going to play a merchant, which gets me a card and an action, and then I'm going to play, and it also gets me, if I play a silver, I get an extra money. And I'm going to remodel.
There's your extra action. I see. Okay.
Do I have to gain a card costing up to 2 more than it? That's only 4.
Yeah, that remodel is really nice because you can basically swap out a copper for a silver.
Almost. It's only 2 more, which is why it's not
great.
If it was 3 more, it would be perfect.
Silver.
Copper's actually worth 0. Yeah.
Copper.
That's one of the things that makes it. Normally, I don't buy remodels, but I want.
Methinks they designed the game.
It was in the original game before some of the other cards got removed, got changed, and
nerfed a bit.
It was one of the first cards that you kind of start to think, oh, I could come up with a strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
This has potential.
No!
So I'm gonna do something weird. I'm gonna remodel a silver, because that costs 3, into a laboratory. Which costs 5, and then I'm going to auto-play my treasure for 4, and I'm going to buy a new silver.
Oh, okay.
So I only had 4 treasure in my hand, but I got a card costing 5, and I replaced my silver.
Oh, that's clever.
Oh, okay.
It's a good way to beat the system.
You got to sort of slowly rank up.
Yeah,
right?
That's good. Yeah.
There's an expansion called Prosperity that adds a platinum, which is worth 5 or 6, I think.
Oh wow!
Yes,
it's been a while.
I've seen that. Yes,
it costs like 10 probably or something.
I think it costs 8.
Oh, 8.
If I remember correctly.
Okay, but it's worth like
Cakeman
a minor mint.
A remodel. Cakeman trashes an estate, gains a silver. Oh wow, you're doing a lot this turn, Mr. Cakeman.
Yeah.
Plays a remodel.
Well, because he throne room it, so he gets to play the remodel twice.
Yeah, right.
So he gets to remodel 2 cards. So he trashed an estate to get a silver.
Yeah. The issue now is if I trashed a copper, I could go like for 2 copper, right? Like it's.
You can get a new copper. You can get a chapel. The problem is that you have to gain a card costing 2 more.
Yeah.
You don't get the option.
No. Can it cost less?
I don't think.
No. Oh, okay.
Up to. It says up to 2.
Up to
oh,
2,
okay. So it can be 1 more or
it.
Equal. Yeah.
Dang it. Yeah. Well, I think. I wonder.
It might help, Mark, to as we talk about cards to right-click on them. I don't know if that's something.
I have been doing that. Yeah, big time.
Oh,
the right-clicking is very, very useful.
It's something that I do automatically because like somebody says something and I just like click on the card to see what it does.
Okay, so I can autoplay my treasures here, which is going to give me a total of 8. How much do I have? Where's the money again here? 10 to spend. All right, so I'm going to buy myself a province.
You have 2 buys.
Oh. And for $2, I can't really get a lot.
First province off the board, though.
Ooh, the first
I guess I could
goes.
buy. Do I want to buy an estate for $2? Ugh. It seems like just a thing that would clog up my engine. Oh, I can buy a chapel actually. Let's buy a chapel.
Normally, we take off, like in the games that I play, you take off the victory points, but everybody can see how many victory points each person has by their name.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Mark,
right.
Cax got 7.
Well, with that province, yeah, it's worth 6. Right?
True, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be trashing the province, but
No,
nah.
that's the best strategy is just trash all your provinces.
Yeah.
So, quick question for you here, Nick. I've got only 4 cards in hand. Why do I only have? Yeah. Why would I only have 4 in total?
Okay, because Sean played a bureaucrat, and so the bureaucrat, as we talked about, if you have a victory card in your hand, you have to put it onto your deck. So you took the victory card from your hand, it's in your deck, and now next turn you're going to get another victory card.
Yeah, the victory card coming.
You're welcome, Cax. Okay. You're welcome.
He was attacking.
Just being a bit of a
just
turd.
getting all in your biz.
He also did so to me.
Oh, did he?
Let me just put it this way. I like my bureaucrat card. I like that. I like it.
Okay, so I'm going to remodel. Gosh, I don't know what to do with this.
Trash a card from your
Yeah,
hand.
see the thing with the remodel. Here's my opinion on the remodel. Like, I mean, it's good for a while, but then eventually you're gonna run out of things to trash.
It's not always.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it'll be great. There'll be a few turns where it's
anymore.
gonna be like beautiful, and then you're kind of being.
So I'm gonna trash an estate, so that gets rid of one of my estates. So that was good. And I can gain a card costing up to 4. I think last time I grabbed a throne room. No, I didn't. I grabbed a silver. Okay,
Last time you.
Let's grab a throne room.
Trashed the silver, bought a
and then
lot.
I'll autoplay. Yeah. I bought a silver, yeah.
And then bought a silver again.
Cake man.
Woohoo.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna
be? That doesn't sound good.
That'll be a good one to edit out, I think.
Okay, I'm buying me a...
ASMR people do you have on your...
Sorry.
Should I start chewing an apple? I have potato chips here. Oh, man.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay, here we go. Boom. Oh.
It's a really well designed website. Like
yeah.
As far as like COVID has meant that all of these websites have had to be tested.
Oh yeah, improved. And it's very well. Yeah, it's well scripted for sure.
I haven't run into too many bugs, and considering how the cards interact with each other, like even expansions, I haven't seen very many bugs with the platform.
You didn't have to like buy this in order to like play it, right? Like it's free online.
So you can play the base version for free, or it's about $5 or $6. They charge in euros, but like it's $5 or $6 a month.
It's a monthly.
You get a discount if you buy a year. There's like anyway, basically there's a monthly subscription and you can buy the rest of it, but the monthly subscription either comes with like half the expansions or all of the expansions, so you get a lot of cards.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something like 140 or something. There's a ridiculous amount of cards now. I should look that up.
Man. Yeah. No, I think I saw it once at Value Village, and there was like, I think 3 other expansions with it, and so I was like, I was really tempted to buy all 3 of them because they were all
I've
seen
this game around. Like, if you ever go to the gaming stores, like it's like a whole wall with this game alone. Because it's like
this game takes up a lot of shelf space.
Yeah, all the expansions, all of the and it's funny because
it says that there's 250 cards now, different cards. Friends of mine have every set.
Oh my gosh!
And each set comes with like a card for like it's like an extra card. So each card, like each normal thing has 10 in the kingdom, but it comes with like an 11th card, and so you can shuffle those up and choose your 10 that you want, right? So you just keep those separate for choosing. They have one of those like old like Pokemon books where you have all of your cards or like all of your hockey cards, and it's just like a binder full of cards. So you can
the sheets,
so I go over to their house and they're like, "Oh, pick 10 cards," and I'll be just like flipping through the binder, looking at the artwork and things.
It must be fun though, Nick.
All right,
it must be fun though, Golden Hawk, because then you're like, you could challenge yourself because you probably have memorized obviously all these cards, but then you could.
Yeah,
You have to kind of
better.
relearn new strategy almost.
They're much better at it than you, eh?
They've got a lot. Like they've played a lot more of the expansions. I haven't played a lot of the expansions, so most of the time when I play with them, it gets a little crazy.
So
thank you for that. That was helpful.
I see a bit of a strategy here that might come out, and that would be stockpiling council room and silvers to begin with. Like if you could somehow, I guess you only have 5 cards though, then you can add council room. You can add 4 cards to your hand, and you add 1 more buy. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Yeah. Because if you had a, I mean, yeah, you might not have a lot of. Oh man.
Oh, he's got some cash. Is he going to buy a province?
Debating the province.
And he is thinking about it.
He's debating.
Artist.
It gets to a point though where you're like, there's too many cards to try and learn them all, or like to like learn how they're all going to interact, because like the number of combinations of cards, right? You think with like 250 different cards, the number of 10 combinations, like combinations of 10 cards, is just ridiculously high. I think it's higher than anybody could ever play. I read something. It's in the billions anyway.
Oh my gosh! Oh jeez.
Of like combinations.
Someone's actually crunched the numbers, eh? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so don't have any actions.
No actions, just money.
I didn't have any actions. I'm gonna do it. I gotta get the province.
8, you have enough for the
He's
province.
Province
Second
too,
province goes off the board.
Boy.
Oh.
It's be a quick game.
All right, I got a remodel. I'm gonna remodel silver, I think. Remodel silver into a laboratory, and I'm gonna autoplay 4 to get another silver.
So how would you say we're playing so far there, Nick? Are we holding our own, or are we making? Has there been any glaring errors yet that you've seen, or?
I don't think so. I mean,
okay.
The thing is like, it's similar to like a lot of engine building games where you don't really. You could just be a turn or two behind somebody else at the end of the game. Right.
Exactly.
Somebody's engine just may be moving just a little bit faster than yours when it comes time to it. Yeah. My problem oftentimes when I play is that I try to build big engines that will capitalize like late in the future. So if games go really long, that helps me. Other people that I play with are much better at building like smaller, more efficient engines where it's like every turn they're just,
maximizing,
provincing for a little while, and they just hope that they don't get sort of clogged up too quickly and stall out.
Because the provinces do eat a card up for you, even though they're worth a lot.
Yeah, when they come up in your hand, they eat up a card in your hand.
But I'll give you an example. Like I think I have a pretty good setup. So I did draw one of my provinces and some crappy money, but I have the council room, so I'm going to be able to actually add 4 more cards now to sort of spruce that up.
Yep.
So it's a good 1-2.
So I'm guessing this is a little early to be monitoring victory points, but I don't want to brag, but I am winning. So just
it's
FYI.
Never too early.
I know Golden Hawk will be watching that carefully, but I'm assuming. I'm assuming.
Like I said, I'm a late bloomer.
I know that's the thing.
He's coming. He's coming. His engine's rumbling. He's throwing a lot of coal in the fire.
Bought a lot of laboratories.
The funny thing is I literally just noticed like a minute ago that was the case, and I was like, oh, I'm actually winning. Only by 1.
See,
I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity and brag for a bit, and then we'll.
While you still can.
That's right.
Oh, the artisan's been played. Who had that? Cake
Man. Gain a card to your hand.
So gain a card costing up to 5 to your hand. So you get to gain the card directly to your hand. So if you still had actions, you could play it right away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in this one, there's no +2 actions. there are cards that give you +2 actions, and that gives you like now you have multiple actions that you can play, as opposed to something that only gives you 1 extra card.
Oh, okay.
But you also get to put a card from your hand onto your deck, so you could put that card that you gain onto your deck and
Onto
get
the
it
top
next
of the deck?
turn.
Yeah,
Okay. I misunderstood. Put the wrong thing on there. Oh well, that's all right.
What'd you put on top of your deck?
I think I can't remember.
A VP.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Copper.
It'll tell you in the chat on the right.
Estate.
A throne room.
card.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Throne
So you'll have
on
the
there.
throne room next turn.
That's
anyway.
not terrible. You'll have some actions next turn.
Yeah. I think I can buy anything with 1. Can you?
No. 1? No, 0. Yeah.
You can buy the copper, but
Yeah.
it's usually not.
So I'm going to do the
There are some engines that thrive on having extra
Extra
copper,
copper.
but for the most part, copper ends up being almost an extra
No.
thing in your deck.
Okay, so I have $11 to spend.
And 3 buys.
And 3 buys. Oh.
Because you throne room the council room, you played that twice, you get 2 extra buys.
Well, I think I got to take another province. And a silver. And we'll wrap it there. I'll just buy 2.
See, it starts to become dangerous because if all the provinces are gone, the game
Yeah,
ends immediately.
exactly. Yeah, you got to be careful.
So-
You can't just willy-nilly, unless you're buying them all at once, right? If you're going through and just buy.
And that's
buy,
my problem, is that my engines take too long to get
Yeah,
going
yeah.
normally, so something that I always have to be cognizant
Yeah.
of.
It starts getting interesting because at some point, too, you want to start trashing your coppers as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
There are some engines where copper is good to have in your deck, but in most decks, copper ends up being a weight as well.
Yes.
Because you want those silvers and those golds to be able to get the province.
Right.
Sean
Yeah.
gains a second province as well.
Oh, boy. He's just keeping up with the Joneses.
No, you're the one just keeping up with the Jones. I'm a point ahead of you. Let me remind you, my friend.
Oh.
This is.
All right, I gotta try catch up with you guys. I'm gonna trash copper into a chapel.
Oh, boy.
On
Here
a
we
play,
go.
And I'll buy a province.
Oh,
There
wow.
goes a
How is
province.
that even possible?
How? Oh, he's up. He's just a little over half your value right now, Sean. That's pretty good. Coming along.
Well, yeah. I mean, half is still half. That's a long way to go.
Yeah, he's at
That's
51%.
That's a long hill to climb.
Cake Man also buys a province.
Yeah.
Now it's just becoming like a province.
Fly
fest.
off the shelves.
Now it's just flying off the shelves. It's not a good thing. This is handy knowing how many victory points everyone has. Would they be laid out on the table usually? Aren't they? Or no?
No.
They're not.
No.
Board-
In most games, like I said, when I play with my friends, we usually play with that off. But I figured for our first couple of games, we'd play with that
Oh
on.
yeah.
Oh.
But
Cax buys
yeah,
a gold.
in tabletop
Oh,
games,
silver, sorry,
you
silver.
don't get to know what's in their decks.
Right,
so
right. Oh, man.
kind of have to watch.
It's even more.
Now we make it normally a rule that if you're buying a province, you have to sort of announce that you're buying a province.
Yeah.
Can't just like, oh, I'm done my turn, guys. Go
Yeah.
on. Just don't pay any attention to what I'm buying.
Nothing to see here.
Does the well, I guess you can always see that the deck is getting lower and lower on the tabletop.
Yeah,
You're like, wait a
yeah.
minute, it seems strange, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I think in the rules you're allowed to know how many cards are left in each deck, but
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, it's the same action twice. Okay. Sorry, I just got what the throne room was saying. So basically, whatever card you play with the throne room, you get to play that ×2.
yes.
Oh, that's very
So if that card gives you +1 action, you're actually at +2 actions
yes.
because you don't use up an action to play it the second time.
Right.
You only use the action on the throne room. You're not actually using an action on the card that you play using the throne room, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Yep.
So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to throne room a Harbinger, which gives me
2 cards and 2 actions.
2 cards, and I can top deck a card as well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm going to top deck my Laboratory, which will give me +2 cards and +1 action.
Holy, here he comes.
See, this is the engine.
Then I immediately pick that up using the Harbinger.
Oh, excellent.
And
Wow.
I will top deck a gold. And then I will pick that gold up with the Laboratory and another card, and I'm going to pick up another 2 cards, and then I'm going to pick up 1 more card.
Wow.
And then I'm going to pick up 4 more cards. And then I'm going to...
Why don't you just buy? You can buy a couple provinces with that, couldn't you? Like, I think you're up to that
Well,
much.
as long as you have multiple buys.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to it. 7. What do you guys have? 6 plus that is 13.
Do you find
I want to. So I've got a remodel card, and I'm considering whether or not I want to remodel my estate out. But I'm going to keep it because I think that gets me over a couple of you. So I've got 14 and 2 buys. So I'm going to buy a province, obviously, and I'm going to buy a duchy as well.
Ooh, he's going.
So that puts you in the lead.
Oh, he's just blasted ahead. There it is. There was the power play. That was pretty solid.
Yeah. It was expected. It was expected.
Okay, so I've got a bit of a power play here. So the throne room, then the council room. Now I have to autoplay my treasures, which is $13.
Thank you for the extra card, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's painful to do it. So I can buy one of those. And I have, how many buys left do I have? 3? 2 buys? 2 buys
so
left?
it'll say on your little that thing that you keep minimizing.
Yeah, there it is.
So
Okay.
you have 0 actions, 2 buys, and $5 left.
$5. Okay, so we'll just buy another duchy for that. And we'll call it there. I hate wasting a buy though. That's my one kicker, but it's got to happen.
Okay, so it's my turn now. Okay.
Sometimes it happens, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to buy things that are just going to clog up your deck.
That's right. Yeah.
While you're buying other things that are already clogging up your deck.
Yes.
Because at this point, you lose a turn buying a province, it could be the end.
So I'm waiting for
Right.
Cake Man to top deck something. Is that what?
Oh, what do I have to do? Sorry. Oh, I have to put down.
I played a bureaucrat, which means
Oh, so you
if you have
to choose
multiple
one of your
victory cards, you probably have to choose.
Does
which
it
one
really
you want.
matter which one I put down?
It doesn't.
Okay.
No.
Which is a weird thing to make you choose, but okay.
Yeah.
So the reason being is that if you've got a province and a state, you could show him the estate, and so that he wouldn't know you have a province.
Gotcha.
Potentially, like that's where not knowing what victory points
Okay.
everybody has
I feel
would
like-
come into play.
I feel like the bureaucrat, like showing your victory points, just seems like a moot thing. Like, what's the point of that? Like, I would
it's
basically
not,
know.
It's not overly important.
No.
Yeah.
There's different types of victory cards, though, again, in future expansions where that could become a thing.
Like victory cards with conditions or with text?
Yeah, so there's one that's called the Gardens, and that one gives you a certain number of victory points based on the number of cards you have in your deck. So for every 10 cards you have in your deck, you get 1 victory point for every card you have.
Right. Some extra
So if you
bonus,
have-
yeah.
If you have 40 cards in your deck, then you get 4 victory points for every garden that you have in your deck. But the gardens only cost 4, so it's like a better duchy, potentially.
Right.
But only if you've got a big deck.
Yes.
And again, the bigger your deck, the more complicated it can
It
be.
becomes, yeah.
Okay, I got a laboratory. We'll play that. I'm in a council room. Autoplay. I've got. Oh, I minimized my thing. Talking about you minimizing.
Yeah.
10 and 2 buys. So.
Oh.
This is tough.
Do you get the province?
So my consideration here is if I get the province, that leaves 2 left. If both of you province out, that's the end of the game, and I won't get the chance to buy another province.
Mm-hmm.
I can buy 2 duchies, which is the equivalent of buying a province.
It costs you a
And
bit more.
that way, if you both province, I still have a province left, and I can hopefully get the last one.
Right.
That's my
All right.
strategy
Your thought there.
for buying 2 duchies.
Mind you, there are 3 of us to go, and there's 3 provinces, so it depends on how.
True. I'm hoping that Cake Man still can't province it.
I know.
That's okay. You were one of the ones that hadn't really played too much of this, right?
I've played it a bit, but yeah, it's been years, so yeah. Meh.
The nice thing about this game that I've found is that I have friends that I regularly win board games against that will win this game against me because they have a totally different mentality that they approach it with.
Right.
Like I said, like I tend to be a big engine person, but if the cards lean more towards what a small engine person would do, you know, they'll win against me easily, and it'll just be like, yeah. So it's nice because it adds a little bit of balance to. You never know who's going to win sometimes. Yeah. Like different people. If you find the right strategy, you can win, and it's being creative with the cards.
My
sometimes.
cards just changed like crazy. Is that normal? Why did that happen?
Oh.
Yeah, you got an extra card from me.
Oh, okay. So it was.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I can't buy anything else with the dollar, so I will just end
I guess
my
it didn't.
turn.
Yeah, it was just the one card added. That's true. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Rough.
Okay.
Now, Sean,
Ooh, I could.
important to note that if you buy the last province,
I will
the game
lose.
ends.
The game is over.
And at least Golden Hawk will win. No, just joking.
Does it end on his turn, or does it play around? Or how
It
does
ends on his turn.
Oh man.
Now he gets to finish out his buys.
He would be second place though.
So I mean, potentially.
Oh yeah.
We've always played in the
Yes.
physical version that when you buy the last province, the game ends immediately. But this lets you finish your buys.
Oh,
so
you
if
get
you
one
wanted to
more
buy
turn.
an extra duchy as well, you could buy an extra duchy
Right.
or an estate.
Now, Shauna, just so you know, if you do let Golden Hawk go and he buys the province, he would win.
Yeah.
So
That's true. You now become the kingmaker.
you're kind of the kingmaker indeed.
Okay.
But I might not be able to win, and then you might not be able to win on your next turn. So he could just be giving himself another chance.
That is
to win.
true too. We could both flounder a little longer.
Because I don't know that I'll be able to
buy
finish
it.
this off.
Oh boy.
Oh, there it is.
He bought it.
The
He
game
bought it.
is
The game
ended.
has ended.
And
he
got
came
an extra
up!
victory. He bought a duchy and a province.
That's awesome.
I was able.
Oh, boy.
I had a combination. What did I do? I played the Harbinger, which gave me an extra card and
and an action.
extra action. And then I was able.
And you got to top deck a card.
And then I put the Laboratory, which gave me. Sorry, I'm remembering. +2. So it gave me +2 cards +1 action. And then with my, I played an Laboratory again. Oh, how did that happen? Anyways,
You remodeled your bureaucrat.
I was able to pick up a bunch of money, which I needed. And then the key was I remodeled my bureaucrat, which got me the duchy. And then I had enough money to buy the last province.
Oh, genius.
So,
well played.
It was just...
WP, man. GG.
It was just... and honestly, I wouldn't have won. It was just the right enough cards came up. So
That was perfect, yeah. All right, we should try... you guys want to try another one?